Hi everybody, I'm Tammy with Gare, and I have a really fun project to show you for the upcoming holidays. It's perfect for both harvest season and Christmas. So what I really love about this project is all of the brushes in your studio that get really ruined. Hang on to them because they're really good for other projects like these. So I just showed you an example of the harvest wreath that I did and the Christmas one. And right now I'm just going to show you an example of how to do the Christmas one. I just used this little biscuit shape and I put it in the center and I drew a circle to get my circle in the middle. And I've already prepped this plate. I painted 2 coats of polar bear on it already. And now I'm going to begin, and I'm going to start with my lightest color first, which is the pea soup. And again, I'm using this really funky messed up brush. And I'm going to dip it in the paint. And then I'm just going to dab it off on the plate a little bit so there's not too much paint on there. And you start from the center of the circle, and you're just going to wisp the paint out around the plate. And you can go over it if you need to. You can go over the same spot twice, and you just keep going in and getting some paint. You just want to be gentle and not push down too hard because you want the edges of the brush to just wisp along the plate. So by the time it gets around to the edge of the plate, it's a little bit dry, which is what you want because that's what gives it the feathery look. And I'm going to go back in and just pull it out a little bit further. And you don't want it to be perfectly even. Some spots can be longer than others. So when moving on to your next color, you're going to use the next darkest color, which is Leapfrog. You don't have to clean your brush off in the water. Just wipe it off on your paper towel. Again, the messier the better. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to dip it in the paint, dab a little bit off, and just gently go around. Now for this color, you don't want to go all the way to the very edge. You want to come in just a little bit because we want the lightest color to be on the very edge, and we're going to get darker as we go in. The goal is to have it darker in the middle and lighter on the edges. That's what gives it that soft ombre look. Now we're going to go in and do my next darker color, which is Mash. Okay, just going to wipe my brush off, get some color. So one of the reasons that I like this project so much is that when I was managing the studio, I would go around and I would save all of the really destroyed brushes for projects like this. Because whenever we would get to like try new things or experiment with different projects, a lot of these brushes came in really handy for that. Yeah, a lot of people will just throw them out, but we hung on to them and we're glad we did. The other thing I want to say, when you use the chocolate mousse, you only want to just use a little bit of that. This is probably the color that I use the least of, so you're going to dip it in your paint and you're going to clean your brush off, and you're just going to use it in a few spots in the center just to get some deep color in the middle. So if you use too much of it, it will overpower the wreath. But when this fires, it will just look nice. It'll give it some depth. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Writer bottles and give them a little shake. And I'm just going to put in the wheat stalks. This color is Red Rover, number 2309, and this is 2368 is Old Yeller. And I also put a few dots in for color with Old Yeller as well. So the way I like to hold the Writer bottle, I usually tell people if you hold it to the side and just don't squeeze too hard, it will just come out really gentle for you, and you can just sort of like trickle some color out. You can make a little line for the stem and then just do some dots. They certainly don't have to be perfect dots. In fact, it'll look better if they're not. So if your Writer bottle skips, that's okay. It's just gonna make your piece look even better. So I don't know if any of you tried these new Fun Writer tips. They're either available now or they're coming out really soon. I really like them because you can get a fat line or a thin line with the same tip. And I also like them because they drain back into the bottle really easily. You can see it coming down. And also you can see it when you squeeze it, you can see the paint coming out so you know when it's at the tip. I just add in a few dots here for berries. Okay, so that's it. It's a really fun technique and this will be a great class, and I'll see you in my next video.